Welcome back to my reviews. I've got some Dinky toys set up here, but the one I want to concentrate on is number 622, the Bren gun carrier. And it was in the series from 1975 to 1978. I've had this for quite some time, and I always needed a few parts for it, never got them. And finally I ordered them and they came. These tracks were part of the order from my friend Brian. They roll really nice. And you can see where they join here. Thought I wasn't going to get it back together there for a minute, but went in okay. I got this at a garage sale a long time ago. I always wanted to complete it. So I ordered, this wheel was missing. It's a spare. I ordered it and glued it on. The tracks, like I said. A gunner with a Bren gun. And a driver with steering wheel. Now these came in kind of a reddish brown, and I sprayed them with a Tester's Army Olive and then painted the faces flesh. They look not too bad inside the vehicle. Here's the driver. And there's the gunner. There we go. Pretty cool looking vehicle. And I got a aerial which goes in there. It comes straight, but I put it in some boiling water and held it in the bent position so it would stiffen back up that way. Now this model is actually the Mark II, and it has the tow hook mounted on it. And I think that happened in about 1943, and it was designed to pull a 6-pounder anti-tank gun. Basically designed in the 1930s, originally for transporting personnel, equipment, and as a machine gun platform. And the standard weapon it carried was the Bren gun. It's actually, the proper name is a universal carrier, but it took on Bren gun carrier over time. So there were two vehicles that it actually replaced. It was the in 1940, it was the Bren carrier and a Scout carrier, which were smaller vehicles and less powerful. This one had a Ford flathead engine. mounted in the middle. By 1960, there were 113,000 of these that had been built. And it was the most produced armored vehicle in history, or armored fighting vehicle in history. Universals produced in the UK were by Aveling Barford, Ford, Sentinel, and Thornycroft, and Wolseley Motors. Ford Motor Company of Canada made about 29,000. Australia produced about 5,000, 1,300 in New Zealand, and about 20,000 in the US. And there were different variants. There was a mortar carrier and one that carried an anti-aircraft gun. So it had a lot of different uses. Now the Reconnaissance Corps regiments in Britain had replaced the cavalry regiments in supporting infantry divisions after 1940. And each of these reconnaissance regiments were equipped with 63 carriers and 28 Humber scout cars. And all the carriers were armed with the Bren light machine gun. There was one carrier per section that had a boys anti-tank rifle, and by 1941 each carrier section had a 2-inch mortar. In 1943 they had a crew of 4, an NCO, a driver mechanic, and 2 riflemen. And then the towing attachment was added, and it took on the designation as a Mark II. Now the towing attachment was originally added so it could pull a 6-pounder anti-tank gun into the battlefield. I've seen pictures of captured carriers. The Germans and Italians had captured them and put their own weaponry on them. They look pretty cool, those ones. Now the model itself is number 622 and was produced from 1975 to 1978. This is a 105-inch howitzer, or 105 millimeter. It can hook up to there, but I don't have the anti-tank gun. But it gives you an idea what it would look like towing a gun. See the track movement there, it's pretty smooth. Well, that's my review on the Universal Carrier, or Bren gun carrier. You always see this in the old war films from the Second World War. I think it's one of the coolest little vehicles going. So that's the Universal Carrier, also known as Bren Gun Carrier. And this one's by Dinky, number 622. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.